Ashley, Scrapping Nerd, and I'm back today with a layout for Scraplift Crafternoon, and it's where a bunch of my crafty peeps and I get together and we scraplift an amazing layout for an amazing creator. And this week we are scraplifting Moira, and you saw her layout at the top of the video, and I just loved it. And you know I love a good circle element in a layout, and so I pulled in my Simple Stories Pink Lemonade collection. And that's pretty much everything is the pink lemonade, except for the puffy stickers is the Simple Stories Sunny Days. But this is adorable. I got this collection in my creative scrapbook kit, and you saw the banner, like the cut file banner that came with the kit. And so I'm going to use that as well. And I did pull in Candied Apple Distress Oxide, which I will use on the cut file, and you'll see that in a minute, but I didn't have that at the beginning of the layout. I also forgot to show you my Sizzix circle dies that I used. Again, those all come in the video, but I just didn't pull them out in the beginning. I forgot about them. But I wanted to use this yellow dot paper for my main background, and in her layout she had kind of like a piece behind her photos, like a piece of paper, and so that's what this lined paper is supposed to represent. But I made mine a little bit bigger. It's 6 inches wide, and then it goes a little bit further from top to bottom on the layout than hers did, but you can definitely see that was the inspiration. And then she had a tag and I think some scraps of paper, maybe it wasn't scraps, it was like film strips, something on the left side. But I kind of went with the tag idea, and so I pulled in that pink lemonade cut apart tags, and I cut them all apart, and you saw me separating those. And then I will use 3 of them, eventually 4 on the layout, but I will put 3 in a cluster on the left here, and that just kind of mimics the tag she had plus the elements that she had on the left side. And you don't see the third tag, but you'll see why I added a third tag in the end. And so I really like how this turned out. It's adorable. And these are just pictures of my 2 pups. There's Yoda on the left there and Bailey on the right, and I actually will flip them. You'll see when I actually glue it down, the pictures get flipped. But they're just hanging out on our porch on the couch that we have out there. And I just, you know, I'm an obsessed dog mom, so I just am scrapbooking pictures of their adorable faces. But I used you saw the Sizzix circle dies I brought in, and I made it so that it was a thick circle. And she had 3 circle elements on her layout, and so I cut 3 of them, and I did move them around. You know, in true fashion, I altered them all around the layout, but I don't make you guys watch me do that. But you might see the one on the right moves around a little bit because I couldn't decide where I wanted to put that one. But I pulled in that Sunny Days, the puffy stickers, and I'm going to use Good Vibes as my main title. But here is where I'm taking the Candied Apple, and I'm inking up the banner cut file that I got in my creative scrapbook kit. And I thought that the Candied Apple pulled in the red colors from the lined paper that I chose as that piece that was behind the photos, and I went with, and so that's why I went with this red. But I do like how this turned out in the end. I will then start to pull in some, I don't really have scraps. This is the first time I'm using this kit. And so I'm going to use some of those tags because I don't use tags a lot. And so I will use the inner circle parts that I cut out, and then some of the tags to fill in the banner cut file with the different patterns from the collection. But like I said, I don't really use tags that much, and so for me, I just figure out if I can use it kind of like a scrap paper if I need some of the patterns from the collection. And you can see here, all I do is I flip, if the pattern's on the front of the tag that I want, I'll flip that over, and then I will trace the cut file. And then when I cut it out, I will cut it just a little bit bigger than my lines that I use to trace the cut file. And then that way it'll, when I glue it down, it's just a little bit bigger and it'll stick to the parts of the cut file in between. There's so many people that have so many good videos on here how the back cup files. I have learned from all of them, and this is just the easiest that I find to do, as opposed to cutting. I'm always afraid that if I don't cut before I put on the cup file, I'm going to cut the cup file. But so I went through and I put all those different kinds of the pattern papers behind the banner, and I really like how this turned out. But as I put it on the layout, I was like, oh, that red banner is really red now. And what I thought it would do is pull out the red in the background paper there of the lines, but I think it just stood out. So I had to put some more red around the layout. And so I put in that third tag in the cluster on the left, and then I pulled in this red tag that I'll put behind the title there. And the title, it said something about lemonade or something, but the title covers that up, and then I'll put this flower here to finish covering up the lemonade or the lemon part of the tag, because I just wanted the red part up there to kind of pull from that banner, since that candied apple made it so big. And then the crazy starts, and I felt like there was too much of a gap between the camera and the title, and so I'm just going to pull in some of the red flowers from the ephemera bits from that collection and just kind of fill in that space. Again, I'm just pulling in that red in some more around the layout, because I didn't realize how striking that banner would be once I inked it with the red ink. But make sure that you go to the description box, you go visit Moira's page, you give her love, like, subscribe to her, all the things. She does amazing layouts. I love them all. And then as well as make sure to hop along with all of my crafty peeps and see how they interpreted Moira's layout. And there is a playlist if you just want to sit back, relax, and watch all of them. And then everybody's Instagrams and YouTube channels are also linked below, so you can love, like, and subscribe to all of them. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has given love, likes, and subscriptions to me. I appreciate all of you. And so yeah, I'm just finishing up again all the crazy, putting all of the good stuff around. I put picture perfect moments, the good vibes, the good life down in the bottom right, you know, my wordy bits that I like. On the tag cluster, I put the word fun in it had like it made it look like a piece of tape was on the tag, and so I just use that as an opportunity to put the word fun. And the chipboard elements and the ephemera bits kind of give the layout a bunch of dimension, since it's all mixed in. Like that sun and cloud that's on the right side there is a chipboard element, and then having the butterfly above it, that's just ephemera bit. It really just adds a lot of dimension. And then I made it so that the butterfly's wings stood up. But yeah, I think this turned out really cute, and it's just a fun little layout of my babes. And so that's going to be it. Oh, I do pull in, I forgot on my tags, because nobody likes a naked tag hole. I pulled in this string that I have, and I don't know. You guys make these tags with the strings look so good, and mine's always a little precarious, but I decided to use my my Tim Holtz stapler, and staple the pieces of it's not yarn, it's like string, but it's like a thick string. And it would have been a lot easier had I thought about this before I glued down the tags, but we got it. And then I will put knots at the end of the string. I just don't like how it kind of is all willy-nilly. I don't know. And so I like to put the little knots there because it just kind of dresses up the tag strings there. And then I thought the staples kind of stood out, so I will use some of from the Sunny Days puffy stickers there. I will pull in the little dots that I put on the banner below. I will also put those on the tag holes, and then I'll put a heart. I didn't want to put a string on that top tag because I didn't want it hanging out the top of the layout. And so I just put a little heart over that tag hole. But I like it. Like I said, you guys always make the tag strings look better than I can make mine. But that's it. Again, make sure you check out all the links below, and I hope that everyone has a great day. Bye!